You're live, says the YouTube. Well, I just got home and I promised I want to do the vlog every day at 8 o'clock my local time. So I started 2 minutes late. But just got home. Yesterday I bought shit weed. Today I had to buy myself real weed. And I had to buy it for myself because I was craving it like nobody's business. I wrote poems today about escapism because I woke up so upset from yesterday. But now the day was good. I met my friend who helped me out. We talked. We went to McDonald's. I bought myself a dinner out. I shouldn't. I actually should be cooking for myself to continue saving for the month. But I'll make the exception today. I just bought myself a chicken burger. Then I tried to save money and go to a store that was supposed to be open until 8, and they weren't open. So then I had to go to another store and buy drinks a little more expensive. I'm such a cheap ass. But, it's smart to be good with money. I bought myself the Red Bull Colas, which I haven't had in a long time, and it's pretty good. Let's see. Is my heater on? Because I want it to be on. Yep. Thank God it works. I had a scare. It might be broken yesterday. Today morning. Okay, I don't need to take off my sweater. Probably do need to take off the boots, though. Be right back. All right. So, here we go. Gotta talk about what I posted today on the adult dyslexia subreddit and any kind of work I did for LexiConvention. I have a surprise for you. I didn't do any work for LexiConvention. All I did was actually I made album art and I shared a good video which explains relationships to people, which is exactly right. Yeah, I'm not ripped off. Actually, my friend kind of helped me get a better deal than usual. Good guy he is. So, I wrote 4 poems to try grab myself out of the depression I woke up in. And I need to talk about those because that's what my subreddit is mostly. It's mostly my poetry. I posted some songs that help when you're depressed. I actually listened to the Coldplay album X and Y, where it's all about basically wishing the singer could fix his girlfriend and fix himself. It's an interesting album. Many songs are very similar to one another, though, in that album, and I'd never heard the whole thing. One of the beauties of Spotify is like you may only know a single of a song, and then you get to expand for free into the whole album. Watch this. This is technically a coffee grinder. I keep telling myself I should make this a business. And I've been using it for many years now to grind my weed, and it's pretty awesome. Basically, in less than 10 seconds, your weed is perfectly grinded for rolling. It's pretty good. Like, look at the end result. Oh, there it is. Other pot smokers, they need to take, who knows how long, 2 minutes or whatever, grinding their weed. I take 10 seconds or less. And I tell myself, like, seriously, I should just like buy a bunch of those grinders and then buy marijuana stickers and then sell them online and be like, yo guys, electric grinder services, because it only cost me, I think, 25 euros. So then what you do in such a business situation, you want to profit hard from it. So then you buy the stickers for like €1, and then you charge 50 euros. And then you have a 24 euro profit margin. And if you don't include shipping in your services, that's pure profit. 24 euros profit. It is illegal though, unless I get permission from the corporation, because you're not allowed to resell other people's products like that. There's usually laws that protect people and businesses. Where did I put my blunts now? Oh yeah, they're in the kitchen for some reason. I smoke. I used to smoke the tobacco version of this, but then it became illegal. Probably because they knew how much I loved it. That's what it felt like as soon as I learned that shit's illegal. But then I actually learned the truth. What happened is this company was told, because their product contains tobacco, they have to include the images of people with lung disease and all those warning images, rather than just the warning text. And then the company just said, no, we're not doing that. So they just don't sell their product here anymore. And now there's only like some underground places that sell it imported from Germany, where it's not illegal. So what do I need to get into today? Wow, my friend is playing GTA 4. He probably bought it during the Christmas sale. Smart boy. Okay, so I need a filter now. Oh yeah, I have everything in my handy dandy box. Oh yeah, this was this is the business card of a funding organization. Yeah, interesting. And I got a strange ass Secret Santa gift, a very strange Secret Santa gift I picked up today from the mail. Like, let me show you what it is. It has no name where it came from, only an address inside Vienna. And it's just weird as fuck. And I have no idea who sent it to me. This is what I got today from a DHL. I should be careful. I don't think you want to post your address on a YouTube video, even though nobody's watching at the moment. But I have faith. People will watch it in the future. Look at this. It's like a Cthulhu ski mask. Bleh, bleh. The fabric is not low quality, you know. It probably does keep you a little warm, and it has no tag inside, which means somebody hand knit this or bought it handmade. And yeah, one of the strange things I found in my mail. So, all right, let's go to the subreddit. Let's see what I posted since the last video. So, in the yesterday's video, I talked about how love dominates. I said 80% of all music. Well, that percentage went down since the last article I read. It's actually closer to 65% according to this article. And it's from the University of Florida, and it's called Love Still Dominates Pop Song Lyrics, but with Ranchier Language. Actually, this article is just as old as the other one I read. And here they claim that after studying song lyrics from 1968 to 1971, and comparing that to 2002 to 2005, that 24% of 40 loves out of 40 songs, 24 out of 40, I'm sorry, of the songs in the modern era, 60% are about love. This is a 10-year-old article. And if you look at the statistics from the 70s, as it says lower in the bottom, it used to be much closer to 80%. So, like, the popularity of rapping about money, cars, bitches, and hoes, and doing gangster crimes and talking about your life rather than your love experiences, it's gone down. Still a pretty big percentage, 60%. The reason people sing is usually because they felt love or got hurt by love. So I posted that article after talking about this in the live blog yesterday. Then I posted the video about sex and relationships. And it's a very good video because it directly shows with some very nice, well-made animation the love problem you face when, and how love starts and what you feel and how it takes over. And let me tell you something. The more and more you experience relationships and have a short or long-term relationships with people, and girls do this in multiples more than men. That's why men are actually very immature in relationships usually, and women criticize men for that. Is because they get into relationships much more quickly and easier than men. A man can't just go out on the street and flirt with a stranger and get results. A girl can, because if she has boobies, a cute face, put on enough makeup to make herself prettier than she really is, talks a good talk, guys can be your butter. So girls learn to play guys, but on the opposite end, guys learn to play girls. And that's just a part of the game and part of growing up, isn't it? It's not. I'm a feminist, I like to say, but I guess I have to also put in front of that I'm also a macho. So it's a little complicated, but you will never have complete equality between the genders because it's just not physically, scientifically, emotionally possible. We have the same type of brain, women and men. Our brains are very damn similar. There's no fucking sexual organ in your brain, but there is in between your legs. That in that factor, we are equals. And then there's also those articles that say women are smarter than men. It doesn't work like that. Statistically, women can be smarter than men, but that's usually because they have to find themselves in more study-oriented career paths. For example, you will never in your life find a construction crew that can build you an apartment, a city skyrise made of only women. It just doesn't exist. It really, really does not. So while men can take a career path that takes less education, but more muscle, more need of being a larger size and being intimidating, such as security, police work, that's where feminism falls apart, and that's something different. Anyway, I was talking about the relationship dynamics. So the video shows and displays the very male desire to capture the person who loves you and contain them. But the video also very well explains why that is, and that's why I wanted to post it on my mission to help people be a little bit more like a womanizer like I am. Then I posted this video of how the brain operates and makes predictions. And it's actually, I read about this a little differently than the video, actually, but the video still did a good enough job. I felt the need to share it. There's actually a psychologist called Carl Frinston who did a much better scientific study on talking about the predictions in your brain and how you live. And you know what? I might talk about this topic another time. I don't feel like talking about it right now, but I do recommend the video. It's under the research tag on the subreddit. And then I posted also late last night how this woman compares the difficulties of English and how heteronyms, words that sound differently but are spelled identical, can be so confusing at times, especially if you're dyslexic. So I thought that was appropriate for the subreddit. And then I woke up 7 hours ago and I wrote this quite long poem for my standards with many sentences called Coffee Please Cure Me. And then I wanted to elaborate on that poem with another poem. And that one was called The Only Time I Feel I'm Not in Prison Is When I'm High. And right now I get to break out of my prison. Right now I get to smoke this and feel better. Yeah, that's life. Just being in this apartment has, certain memories of being stalked from the neighbors from over there, and just hearing them, hearing the family of the stalker, hearing strangers, hearing many things, so many different things. And the way I fought that problem was by the way I'm solving my problems right now too, is actually just getting high and ignoring it. Because I would talk to my family, I would tell them this is what's happening, it's real, it's true, and they're just like, no, you have mental issues. And I asked them if they could help me move out. I tried to move out myself, and I couldn't do it. I never had enough the finances. It was just a pain. And when I reported it to the police, they'll say they'll look into it, and then they never do. And that's just the police. Anyway, so then I posted a Bon Iver song. Bon Iver very famously went into a cottage all alone to write himself an album once he was very hurt. He just disappeared from the city where he had his relationship to escape it, and he made this beautiful, sad album. I don't know the name of it, but the song Skinny Love is in it. And it is a beautiful song. Let's play a little bit of it right now. You won't hear it probably very well, but because I'm playing it from the TV, which I'm trying to find the TV remote so I can turn on the TV. There's a cool trick you can do. You can connect your YouTube web browser to your smart TV, and then you can DJ, or the right technical term is you can cast it to the device. I think you can also do this to your cell phone. You can send it from the browser to your cell phone and stuff like that. All you have to do is boot the TV and wait for them to realize they're connected. Let me refresh to see, and it didn't connect yet. Maybe soon. I have it all on a LAN because, like, I actually bought this 30. How long is it? I don't know. I bought this very long 27 euro Ethernet cable just so I could connect my computer from this side of the room to the other side of the room where my router is via LAN. There it goes. There's the button. It loaded. Play on TV. And then you press play. And hopefully this doesn't get me a copyright strike. It totally shouldn't get a copyright strike, because legally, or it used to be this law, is that when you do recordings off screen, they're fair use. It's not directly recorded. It's not something people can pirate. Therefore, it's fair use. That's used to be the law, but I think YouTube doesn't care enough. So the album is called For Emma Forever Ago, and I really recommend it. I used to listen to it all the time in around the year 2003. It was a great song. Then I posted the James Blunt song Same Mistake. It's just a nice song. I actually don't know that song that well, but I thought it was nice and appropriate. And then Yellow, which is a classic Coldplay song. Also enjoyable. So, you know why the song is called Yellow? Because in art color theory, you learn the meaning of yellow and how it's a color that gives comfort and discomfort at the same time. I need to look this up because I don't want to tell people the wrong meaning of the color yellow. So the double meaning of yellow, and this is correct. It's perfectly. It probably reminds me. I'm gonna share this link later after this video is done. It's the color of yellow at the first hand is about happiness, positivity, clarity, energy, optimism, enlightenment. Although actually, white is more the color of enlightenment. Re-embrace, intellect. Now it's just bullshitting. It has not. Yellow does not make people think of intellect, but it does make people think of some joy. And then on the opposite end, yellow also means cowardice and deceit. And the main singer and songwriter of Coldplay with that album definitely knew the double meaning of yellow. You can hear it in the song lyrics. It was all yellow. So then I posted another poem 6 hours ago, and this one I'll read, and then maybe I'll explain things about why the poem is the way it is. So it's titled, "The Future Never Comes All at Once." So now the Bon Iver song is over. I don't even know how to pronounce his name. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing his name properly. So this poem goes like this. I'm going to have to light the blunt and then read it because I feel that's going to be more appropriate. And this weed is not so strong. This is outdoor grown weed. As far as I know, usually this type of weed comes from the border of the Netherlands, where people aren't so afraid of growing, even though it's only legal in Holland, which is not a country. Many people think it's a country. Holland is not a country. Holland is a province, or as you say in German, a Bundesland, or a state if you're American. Wow, the blunt turned out pretty good. But you know, there's lots of leniency with marijuana in all of the Netherlands just because of Holland's legalization of it for many years. You gotta spark this properly. Oh yeah, and these blunts, they have such an issue with being sticky. You have to basically slobber everything on top of it, and then you can heat it up. And sometimes that helps. Sometimes it does the opposite. This time it did a little of both. But it should smoke properly. By the way, this is the amount of cigarettes I smoke in one day. It's not good. I used to smoke more. I used to smoke 2 packs a day. Now I'm back to 1 pack a day. Those were stressful days when I was smoking 2 packs a day. It was like the first month of the subreddit and stuff. And, you know, the subreddit does not get as many views as it did in all of November. November was crazy amount of views. I have no idea. I don't even barely remember how I did it. The weed tastes all right. It's not going to get me very high. It's not that quality weed you can get in the United States where the people know how to grow and they use so much electricity to put as much energy as they can into the flower. They go crazy with that stuff, and I wish I could enjoy that, but I can't. So this poem is called "The Future Never Comes All at Once." Day by day, the world turns and revolves in revolutions. We cannot stop the earth from accepting the sun's gravity. Would it not be nice to freeze it, make everyone else stop while I have all the time in the world to walk to my destination? Stop the clock in the snap of my fingers, so that I can think for as long as I want. I'm missing a comma before I make an action. Make life a turn-based RPG. Fight the bosses with overpowered gear. The future comes one day after another, with one factor of the future given to you in a moment. Good things come in threes. Bad things come in threes. And that's just playing on what I think is the Chinese expression that good things come in threes. And the number 3 itself means luck to the Chinese. I posted earlier the numerology of Chinese numbers. Many people in the world in business and in writing and in mathematics, and they follow the Chinese numerology because of its intelligence. It gives meaning to numbers when numbers are usually meaningless. They're just a number that people say, right? It's just a number. It's just a number. It's 1 apple, 2 apples, 3 apples. Having 3 apples does not mean you're luckier than 1 apple. Logical people will tell you. And they're right, but they're also wrong. Both sides exist, which means you're not entirely right. So 3 by 3 every day might be the laws of the universe. I want good news always. Don't we all? The prettiest women live like princesses most of their lives. Their daddies keep them in a bubble and protect them from all the boogeymen. And what I'm saying here is, I'm talking more personally about the women I coincidentally end up with mostly, and how it's not entirely just a joke and humor to talk about women's daddy kinks and daddy's issues, because Sigmund Freud famously described this: the first woman you ever love is your mother. The first man you ever love is your father. Your whole want for a relationship, your whole want, it's called the id in psychology, the ID, the id. It's the part of the mind in which innate instinctive impulse and primary process are manifest. When you grow up as a child, as a baby, all your primary processes are developing. Your primary idea of what love should be, it's like your parents, unconditional. Your primary idea of what your friendship should be. If you have siblings, it's like your siblings, your first friends. The ones you live with daily, or the ones you see so often, or they have importance to you because they're family. These are all things that create your culture of relationships. Your relationship to your mother will probably very much define the relationship with the woman you're with until maybe she and your relationship with her outlive your relationship with your mother. Example, you live in your house until you're 18, you move out, you marry, then you live in someone else's house and live to be 90. You're going to have more life experience in the other house. And so that's where things can change. But your childhood memories, they are very long lasting. They stay with you subconsciously and consciously all the time. So that's what I'm saying. Like, when the prettiest women, and that's also an overstatement, some beautiful women are very strong, lived independently a long time and stuff. So then I continue. I was born a boogeyman, saying women are scared of me. That's what I'm saying. All I know is life without protection, and the women I usually date are those from entirely protected lives. So I lose them when they realize I will not protect them like daddy. So here I'm describing the losses I remember and regret and feel so sad about still to this day is like when women figured out, oh, this guy rather live paycheck to paycheck, smoke weed, be irresponsible, and this is not a situation I can see my future in. And so they leave. They know they can't change you. It's actually very sick women who think they can change a guy. It's a very, very sick process. Also, the guys who think they can change women, you can try, but if you try change the parts of her that are really her and important to her, you are cornering a cat, or even worse, you're cornering a wolf. And once they snap out of realizing you've changed them, they come back attacking. So I really don't recommend ever going into a relationship thinking you can change someone. I really don't. Never did it myself, but I know of trouble that comes with it. And women have tried to change me. I just like straight up, they don't get far with me. My mother told me, we are all monsters until somebody loves us. So the interesting thing about this sentence is my mother told me this because I as a kid would never brush my teeth. And then I had toothaches and stuff. And I was literally talking to my mother, and she told me like I'll be like a monster in my teens and I'll have no teeth. And then she continued, I don't remember exactly what I said then, and then she also mentioned we are all monsters until somebody loves us, which pretty much says we are all sick until somebody comes and saves us from that sickness. And this is a very, not entirely pathetic, I'm going to say apathetic opinion to go through life. Very. Because you should be able to be happy entirely by yourself. You should be able to know how to, by yourself, fix yourself, recover from heartache, problems, losing a job, everything. You need to, you don't, I guess some people don't need to. Some people live with friends all their lives and all that stuff. They never burn bridges, some people. The only bridges I barely ever burn is the ones with my family, but even those I burned for a while, and I was able to recover it because like I'm not a heroin addict. I just, if anything, marijuana, which is technically not even that addictive, and it turned off. I talked so much. And my filter isn't that good. When your mind is so unique, who can fall in love with it? When your life is so unrelatable, who could possibly relate to it and know how to help you? Unpalatable taste is what I must taste like in my kisses. Chewing gum, pretending to be something I'm not. No one will accept me being myself, as I don't even accept myself being myself. So here I'm talking about a familiar feeling of anxiety and stuff. And I use chewing gum because, of course, when you're a heavy smoker and you date a girl who doesn't smoke cigarettes, you always need to buy yourself packs of gum to remove that taste. But then you know what the girl gets? She gets mixture of taste of mint and leftover and slightly cigarette. The cigarette taste does not go away. And you know, girls are so shy, so much more shy than guys. They will stay in relationships even a long time, never even mentioning to the guy themselves, maybe mentioning it to their girlfriends if it's a good enough girlfriend that she doesn't want her relationship to look bad. This is now going off topic, but the funniest thing to me about girls and when they talk to each other about relationships that I noticed, so I could be wrong, and it's probably not every girl group and every girl relationship, is how when they're in a relationship and they're with their friends, they never ever bring up the issues of the relationship because they want to pretend their relationship is the best one and theirs is perfect and their friends is imperfect. It's such a competition game for girls. And this is also why they're so picky with men sometimes, is because if they have a big friend group, and imagine this girlfriend is dating a lawyer, this one's dating a doctor, and now here's me with the stoner. That's like, like the Spice Girls said, if you want to be my lover, you got to get with my friends. It's very true. When looking for love, now this today's blog post is all about love, I guess. And what I know of is there's everybody knows different things about love. Love will endlessly be written about. So I wanted to say, this is a side effect of marijuana, the short-term memory loss. Anyway, I wanted to say that where it continues is because because of the situation where girls are competitive about their relationships. When you're a guy and you feel like you're in love with a girl, but you're not in the same class, or even you see, it gets more complicated. It's not just about being in her class. It's about being in her friend circle's class. If all their other girlfriends are, like I gave the examples, dating a lawyer, dating a doctor, dating an engineer, dating who knows what, you might not fit in that situation at that time at all. Like, the lifestyle of the person opposite you who you might be in love with is everything to them. And you are not privy to every detail of that until you live with them and are usually married to them. Then people break all down all walls, and you could technically, I guess, spend a whole 24 hours with a person and see them all 24 hours long. That's a rare moment. Those moments don't usually happen. We even have rooms in houses to make sure that moment does not happen. People who have serious problems with that moment, who face that moment the most often, are twins, technically. Twins, triplets, quadruplets. They usually have to share everything just because they share the way they look, or they share the same birthday. They age at the same time, and it's just the most convenient way for parents to raise them at that point. So those people are something else. And like I mentioned, my girlfriend, not girlfriend, whoopsie, she doesn't like being called that. Cool. If you guys hate the video quality of this video I'm making right now, that email is from Amazon saying that the new webcam might even come early. It might be there tomorrow. So I was saying, damn, that distraction. That is such a, maybe non-dyslexic people can remember even easier, even after they smoke just a little bit. So I wanted to continue. I was talking about maybe in the future when I have live viewers that can remind me what I was talking about live on chat. That would be nice. So I was talking about the relationship dynamics of how you have to be in the same class as someone. And it's not a have to thing, because guess what? Love literally does sometimes overcome some crazy odds. And that's usually moments like those that make people really trust and believe in God. It's like when you have these two best friends who are finally getting together, they've known each other a long time, they're having all these lovely coincidences. That's what you really want in a relationship, that things go well, that everything goes good, and then you're in a bubble again, like you're a child, even God is protecting you. But God doesn't protect not even his own son from crucifixion. That's what you need to know about God. That's one thing that did not change of the old God from the Old Testament. Now I'm getting distracted. I want to read my messages. Now I'm so fucking distracted. I was talking about understanding that the person who you might love and whose relationship you might want and expect, they have their own life, and they're their own person. As women like to remind men, it's my body, and that expression only comes from the submissive history that women have, where men get to boss them around so much that they think they're property, basically walking computers. And they feel like, because I invested all of this money I hard work for in you, I don't know, feeding you, whatever, they get like, you are literally like my fucking iPhone. I paid for you, therefore you need to do everything I ask you to do. This is such a bad outlet to have for women. It's what I always told my friends who I found in that situation. I would tell them, you're probably not going to get laid with that attitude. At the same time, some women are whores. I guess writing a comment during the live stream is not that smart. Okay. That was so little weed, but I was really lusting after it, and my body was super prepared to take it in. And I already lost complete track of everything. But no viewers, so nobody saw this awfulness. And now the video is stupid long. Okay, I didn't even finish reading that poem. If you're interested, read that poem. Again, the website is on Reddit. It's called Adult Dyslexia. So you can just put that in the search. And, you know, I hope you take in from my art and my poetry and my writing and or the research. And I will continue to do my best to work out how to create a convention about dyslexia that really works, that is popular, and can let people say, I was there at the very first International Convention for Dyslexia. I want people to say, I was there, I witnessed it, it was amazing, it was cool. The awareness about dyslexia goes out farther and farther. That's what I expect. Also, there's still bots subscribed to my subreddit, which just redirect everything out of the subreddit, and then it ends up who knows where. So that's a little secret people need to understand about my subreddit. It is intentionally viral. And it's a strange fucking marketing thing to do. I wish it wasn't this way, but this is how it is. So like I posted earlier, an artwork I made myself a long time ago to make myself feel better. That just says, you can only play the cards you are dealt. Basically, if you're not a cheater at poker and you don't cheat and pretend you have cards you don't have, you can only play the cards you do have. And that means that you have to make the most of the situation. You have to realize you can't always just wait for things to magically appear or hope and pray that they magically appear. But that does sometimes happen. So like you do not shame people who feel that way. It does sometimes happen. Sometimes it feels like a miracle. You get exactly what you ask for. In a situation when you're used to not getting what you ask for. Imagine when you're rich as fuck, you always get what you ask for. That is not most of the world. And those people become very deluded. And sadly, those people also gain power in government. So be careful about that. 54 minutes. I'm going to say goodbye. I'll just blow smoke into the camera because that's going to be my sign. So see you guys. Yeah.